Walking around the ancient city of Ephesus is an incredibly immersive experience, and while there are famous landmarks that you'll be drawn to, it was actually two of the more humble and low-key sites that really allowed me to imagine what life was like here 2,000 years ago. The first of these was the commercial Agora, at the end of the Harbour Road and alongside the Marble Road. This is right next to some of the more famous places in Ephesus, yet I was able to walk around almost completely on my own. Being the business and finance nerd that I am, being able to walk around this large square that was once a bustling commercial hub for traders bringing their goods in by ship really helped me to imagine what that day-to-day life was like for those who once occupied the city. Next door, and through the impressive Mosaic and Mithridates Gate, is of course the Library of Celsus. The facade of the building is iconic and incredibly well preserved. A steady stream of tourists swarm to the front steps to snap a photo or to get a close-up view of the statues embedded in the front of the walls. And if these walls could talk, they might say to hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying the video so far. At the other end of the Marble Road is the Grand Theatre. Once capable of holding up to 25,000 people, this incredible amphitheatre was used for gladiator battles, theatrical performances, and political gatherings. The full shape of the stadium is almost perfectly intact, and it's much smaller and compact in person than it appears on camera, but still a very impressive space. Next we would walk along Curetes Street. Now this was the second of the more humble areas that I really enjoyed. The road was a main thoroughfare that connected each end of the city, and there were a number of temples, baths, and other public houses clustered together on the side of the road. When you reach the end of this street, there's a great spot where you can sit on a large stone and look back down the street from an elevated position and see what remains of all of these buildings on both sides of the street. In that moment, you can easily picture horses pulling carts up and down a busy road, people coming and going from the commercial hub back to their homes, temples, or just going about their day. I never thought a 2,000-year-old road would impress me, but it was probably one of my favourite moments of the day. Along this stretch of road, you'll also find Heracles Gate, the Temple of Hadrin, and a number of other buildings and monuments. You'll also find the entry to the complex of the Hillside houses. This is a series of well-preserved residences where the more wealthy Roman inhabitants once lived. The Fountain of Polio is at the end of Curetes Street, and behind that, the State Agora. I found that this end of the complex was less interesting, so we took the opportunity to escape the oppressive heat, sit near the Agora and have an ice cream. We then had to backtrack through most of the complex to get to the Church of the Virgin Mary. Well, what's left of it anyway. This 3rd century church has mostly disintegrated over time, but the footprint of the building and various parts of the structure remain. You are able to walk freely around the grounds of the church, which gives you a great idea of the scale of this once great structure. Unfortunately, it didn't survive as well as most of the other places in Ephesus. One last thing to check out while you are there are the incredibly honest vendors near the front gate, so you can get a genuine fake souvenir to remember your time in this once great city.